Hi everyone, my name is Cynthia. Let's talk books. Today I am here with a haul. I love watching hauls, but haven't really been purchasing a ton of books. And actually some of these books go back all the way to like Christmas gifts. So I am still accumulating books even though I'm not purchasing a ton of books because that just happens. But let's get started. The first thing I want to share with you all is this book collection box from the Babysitters Club. This was actually a Christmas gift from my significant other. And inside you have books 1 through 6. Are these books I already own? Yes. Except my collection of Babysitters Club books are in Kansas with my family. And it's kind of cool to have newer copies of them and to have this nice tin box with them as well. So this was a great gift. He finally bought me books that I actually wanted. Shh, don't tell him that though. Another Christmas gift was from my significant other's family. And I know that it was his dad who picked this because every time I talked to him, he kept asking me about Eleanor Roosevelt. So he gifted me this giant biography of Eleanor Roosevelt by David Michaelis. And wow, it's got deckled edges and everything. It's huge. I will get to it eventually. Maybe that should be my tome topple book. The next set of books are books I ordered from Book of the Month. I have learned that subscription boxes are not for me because I just don't keep up with reading the books I buy. And if I'm not going to be reading the books I'm buying from them, what's the point? So anyways, I have now canceled my subscription, but these are some of the ones that I got, some of the books that I got before canceling that. So this is the dating plan. So this was the romance offered one of the months, and I don't know too much about it. It looks like we have a software engineer and a venture capitalist. I think nothing else interested me that month, so I just went with whatever the romance was. This one does very much interest me. This is Outlawed by Anna North. It was also picked as a Reese Witherspoon book club pick at some point, and this one I'm really interested in because it is the kind of set in the West story, and it's about reproductive rights. I know that it involves the topic of reproductive rights, and that was the main reason why I want to pick this one up. This one, The Removed by Brandon Hobson, I don't know much about, but I believe that the author is indigenous, and that was my criteria for picking that month. I just read that this was by an indigenous author, and it's not often that you get the option of an indigenous author for Book of the Month, so I definitely went with it. Let's see. This is about a teenage boy that was killed in a police shooting, and then the family is celebrating a bonfire for the Cherokee national holiday. Okay, this sounds interesting. I think I will enjoy that one. Let's see, I'm gonna go totally out of order here. Okay. A couple of more books, actually a handful of more books that I got from Book of the Month. This was Infinite Country by Patricia Engel. I've seen it a lot on Instagram, and I just know that it is written by a Latinx author, and it deals with Colombian immigrants, and I am planning on reading this soon. The cover's kind of intriguing here with a snake and this leopard and eagle. I wonder how that features. Then I also picked a book that is not a recent, super recent release. I believe this was released a couple years ago now, but it's Full Disclosure by Camryn, Garrett. And I've actually been wanting to pick up this book for a while because it deals with the main character. And I believe this is a young adult, a teenage girl who is HIV positive. And I really, really want to see how the story is handled. So there is that. a couple of nonfiction picks that I'm actually going to get to this month, or at least one of these I will get to this month. The first one is Wicked Flesh, Black Women, Intimacy, and Freedom in the Atlantic World by Jessica Marie Johnston. Several historians that I follow had really good things to say about this book, and so that's why it's on my TBR. I also purchased Mobolizing, Black Germany, Afro-German Women, and the Making of a Transnational Movement. I've really been emphasizing the stories of Black communities in my European classrooms. I teach European history, and it's something that has been largely left out of the way we teach European history. And I think as a result has contributed to an idea of Europe that is primarily white. And I like to disrupt my students' ideas of Europe. And so this looks really good. And I actually think it's been, one of these books recently won an award. I forget which one, but I know that I've seen really good reviews for this one as well. Okay, the last book of the month, book that I just got in today. This is The Lost Apothecary by Sara. And I believe this is a book about kind of witchcraft in 18th century London. It's gonna have some fantasy involved, and this one looked good. So I'm glad that I picked this one, and I'm hoping to get to it soon. A book that you have already heard me talk about on this channel is Once Upon a Quinceañera by Monica Gomez-Hira. If you're interested in my review, I will link the video in which I talked about this. This was given to me by the publisher for free, but with also no strings attached, no expectation of a review, and no obligation to even talk about this book. I did, however, read it and really, really enjoyed it. It's a young adult story set in the middle of a quinceañera, like the equivalent of a Sweet 16, with lots of family drama, lots of angst, lots of relationship issues. So if you don't like melodrama and angst, stay away from this. But it really took me back to what it was like to be in a quinceañera. I didn't have one myself, but all of the drama at the practices felt very real to me. All right, a couple of orders that I did place very intentionally here. I ordered Big Bad Wolf by Suleikha Snyder. I saw Costin over at Always Doing do a review of this book, and just based on what everybody said about it, it looked really good. It looks like it's paranormal, it's romance, and I'm here for that. A book that was recommended by someone in the comments was El Paraíso de la Otra Esquina by Vargas Llosa. You saw me talk about this book recently in my recent A Historian Reads Historical Romance video. It's the story of Flora Tristan and her connections to Latin America. Oh, a book that I really need to get to, and it's also going to be part of that historical fiction project, is Kim Jiyoung, born 1982, by Nam-Joo. Shannon over at That's So Po talked about this novel, and it looks really, really good. Basically the story of this woman, in a modern Korea, the sexism and expectations that shape her life. It just looks really good. And I finally am getting more copies of Nnedi Okorafor. I love Nnedi Okorafor's writing. A lot of what she writes falls into the genre of African futurism. Some of it is fantasy, but a lot of it is African futurism. So this is Remote Control. This is her most recent book, and I don't even know what it's about, just based on the fact that that Okorafor's the author. That was enough for me to want to buy it, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. And then this is the last one on my list, I think so. So this one was also added to my Reading Historical Fiction project. This is The Keening by Margaret Pinard, who has an amazing channel here on YouTube. I will link it down below. And so in the next probably couple of months, you'll hear me talking about this in the channel. It looks really good. So that is it. Now I feel kind of winded because I was trying to make sure I got this all in the video, and now I can organize these books and find a place for them on my shelves, which is easier said than done, but here goes nothing. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.